Hi everyone. In this lesson, we're going to learn about translations. And in the last lesson, we had an introduction to the unit of transformations, and we also talked briefly about translations and the terminology, the symbols that we use, the type of vectors that we could get. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about a few things about translations. So we're going to look at exercises 1 to 3 first, and that's one of the things that you need to be able to do. It says in exercises 1 to 3, name the vector and write its component form. So we're going to name the vector and write its component form. I'm going to do number 2, and then you will do 1 and 3. So let me make it bigger so that we can see it better. So here it is. So whenever you have a vector, so we have to go from our starting point, which would be this one, to where the arrow is going. So basically we're going from B to A, not from A to B. So we are starting from B and going to A. So we're going to look at how do we get from B to A, looking at how many units did we go horizontally and vertically. So the vector, the name of the vector is going to be very similar to what we used to do with naming rays. So we start here and we go to A. So that's how we name it. The name of the vector will be B, A, with an arrow going from B to A. And now we're going to write the component form. And for that, we need to see how many units did we move horizontally or vertically. So this is what we do. If we want to go from B to A, we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units horizontally. And since we're moving to the left, that's going to be -5. So let me draw it now. So we're going 5 to the left, and because it is to the left, it is -5. And then we go 1 unit down, and because it is down, it's going to be negative as well. We talked about this in the last lesson. If it is to the left, it's negative, and if it is to down, it's negative. If it is going up, it's positive, and it's going to the right, it's also positive. So the component form is written in angled brackets. They are not parentheses. They look like this. And the first number tells us whether we're going to the right or to the left. And the second number tells us whether we're going up or down. So -5 would go first because it shows the horizontal movement, which is to the left. And then -1 will go second because it shows the vertical movement, which in this case is down. So that is how we do these two things. Naming the vector, the same as we used to name rays, and then we write the component form. So I'm going to go to exercises now, 4 and 5. In this case, it says, in exercises 4 and 5, write a rule for the translation of quadrilateral PQRS to quadrilateral P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. So we're going to be writing a rule. And remember that a rule is different from the component form. There are different ways to write the vector. You could have a vector as a drawing. You could have the vector in component form, and now we're going to write as a rule. Let's do number 4 here. So whenever you have to write a rule and the translation is already done, like this one, or like number 5, the translation is already done. We have the original figure and the image. The first thing that we need to do is to be able to identify which one is which one is the original and which one is the image, or which one is the pre-image and which one is the image. It's very simple because we know that the primes, the symbol prime, like this here, are used to represent the image. So whatever you see, P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime, that's going to be the image. So in this case, here we see S prime, R prime, P prime, Q prime. So this one is the image. So that means the original or the pre-image is this one here. That's the first thing that we need to do, be able to identify correctly which one is which, because the translation is going to be done from the pre-image to the image. So that's very important because the vector, you're going to find it by connecting any point to its image. For example, if you connect P to P prime, you can find the vector of translation similar to the vectors that we have in number 1, 2, and 3. And that's how you're going to find, you're going to be able to write the rule. So now we know which one is the original and which one is the image. So we know that the translation is going from this one to this one. So I'm going to connect a point and its image, and it could be any one. I'm going to connect P and P prime. So from P to P prime. Let me try one more time because this is not good. Okay, that looks better. And I'm going to draw the arrow here to show from where to where we're going. We're going from P to P prime. So that is our vector. And now we're going to do what we did in exercise number 2. We're going to write the component form, because if we have the component form of the vector, then we can use it to write the rule. So the component form of the vector would be how many units right and how many units up in this case. So if we look at this vector, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going 4 units to the right, and then we're going 3 units up. So the vector is going to be positive 4, positive 3, because we're going to the right and up. So the vector in component form is 4, because we're going 4 to the right, and positive 3, because we're going 3 up. And now using this, we write the rule, because we know that if we have a vector in component form, then every point x, y changes to x plus the value of a, which could be a plus or a minus, and then y plus b, which again could be a plus or a minus. But in this case, we are using parentheses because we're talking about the coordinates of the point. So the point xy changes to x plus a and y plus b. So in this case, our a is 4 and our b is 3. So the rule will be this one. Each point xy changes to x plus 4, because our 4 is positive. If this was negative, then we will have negative here. And then y plus 3, because our 3 is positive. If this was negative, this would be negative here. But since it is positive, we have positive 3 over there. So this is our answer. That is writing the rule of the translation. So what we do first, we identify which one is the image and which one is the pre-image. Then we draw a vector going from the pre-image to the image, and then we write the component form of that vector, and we use this component form of the vector to write the rule for the vector. And we're now going to exercises 6 through 9. We're going to do, or I'm going to do 6 and 8, and I'm going to leave 7 and 9 for you, the same that I'm leaving number 5 for you here. So we go to exercises 6 through 9. And it says, in exercises 6 through 9, the vertices of triangle ABC are A, 1, 2, B, 6, 1, C, 5, 4. Translate triangle ABC using the vector, graph ABC, triangle ABC, and its image. So the vector for each one is given here. The original figure or the pre-image is going to be the same triangle ABC for all the exercises. And I actually have it already drawn here for number 6. So you have to draw it, but I already did it here. I'm gonna make it bigger just to be able to draw it a little bit better. So this is how we draw the pre-image. Of course, first we need to identify the axis and put the names, label X and Y, and that's very important because we know that the points, the coordinates of the points have X and Y over there. So each point is in the form X, Y. So if I want to draw this point, which I already did, I look at positive 1 in the x-axis and positive 2 on the y-axis. So on the x-axis, positive 1 is here. On the y-axis, positive 2 is here, and that's why point A is here in the intersection of x1 and y2. The same thing with point B. Point B is 6 in x. 6 in x is here. 1 in y is here, and that's why point B is over there. Point C is 5, 4. So 5 in x is here, and 4 in y is here, and that's why point C is right here. So now that we have the pre-image, we're going to draw the image of this triangle ABC using the vector that we're given here, which is this one. The vector is -2, +3. And it's given in component form, and we know that the first number tells us either right or left, depending on the sign. Since this one is negative, that means we're going to the left. So this is going to be to the left 2 units. And then the second number tells us up or down, depending on the sign. This sign is positive, so it's up. So we're going to go two units to the left and 3 units up. So each point of triangle ABC is going to be moved with that vector, which is 2 units to the left and 3 up. So we start with point A. We're counting the blocks, that's all we're doing. 2 units to the left and 3 up. The new point A, which would be A prime, would be right here. So it's 2 units to the left and 3 up. The point will be here. Right there. Now we go with point B. 2 units to the left and 3 up. It would be right here. 1 unit to the left of C. That's where point B prime is going to be, right there. And next one, point C, is going to be 2 units to the left and 3 up is going to be right here. So C prime will be more or less over there. So I'm going to label the points, which is put in the names. So this is A prime. This is B prime. And this is C prime. I'm going to connect these points. Okay, right there. Sorry about the phone call. So that's it for number 6. That's all we need to do to translate triangle using triangle ABC using the vector -2, 3. We go now to number 8. Again, the pre-image is the same triangle ABC that we use on number 6, and it's already drawn here in the same way that I did for number 6, so it's already there. And now we're going to translate it using the vector, which is -4, 0. So the first number is telling us right or left. In this case is left because it's negative, so it's -4 means 4 units to the left, and then the other number is 0, so that means the vertical movement is not going to be done. So the vertical movement up or down not going to be done, it stays the same. So basically what we're doing is only moving 4 units to the left. That is what the 0 means. No or 0 units up or down. 4 units to the left, 0 units up or down. So it's only 4 units to the left for each point. So we start with point A. 1, 2, 3, 4 units would be right here. So we have the point A prime more or less over there. Point B, 4 units to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. More or less over there. This is going to be B prime. And C, 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right here. Right there. I'm just approximating the position of the points because it's very hard to draw on the computer. But when you're doing it on paper, you have to be very exact with your drawing. Now I'm going to connect the points. Okay, so that's how the translation for number 8 looks, just moving 4 units to the left. So I'm leaving all the other problems for you to do. Please practice with them. Do your homework and email